Hi, and welcome to British Dad Reacts. My name is John. Thank you for watching. And if you do like this kind of content, then please consider a like, subscribing, leave a comment or a recommendation. Some music that dates back to the 60s, to the island of Jamaica, stormed across Britain. A couple of times, really. One of the big revivals was in the late 70s. And this band were one of the leading exponents of that kind of music. Madness, One Step Beyond.
Hey you! Don't watch that! Watch this! This is the heavy monster sound! The nuttiest sound around! So if you're coming off the street and you're beginning to feel the heat, well listen Buster, you better start to move your feet to the rockinest, rock steady beat of madness! One step beyond!
Now, I covered Madness before at some length with the track Madness, and also gave some more of their history and how they took their name from that track and how they were huge Prince Buster fans. And in that video I go through a lot more of their history and obviously of Prince Buster, or Cecil Bustamente Campbell, and it's just wonderful, wonderful music. Now, this is the official video. I'm going to show a few variants. I'm going to show the original version, obviously, because I think it's worth hearing. And then I'm going to finish up with them Madness, that is live in 1998. But it's just, you can't not move to this kind of music. It's just a great, great track. Now, the person who does the lyrics, the voiceover there you see at the end, is Chaz Smash, as he called himself, or Cathal Joseph Smyth from London, son of Irish immigrants. The main lead singer, obviously, is Suggs, but he doesn't really kind of feature that much on this version. Now, the original was actually from 1964, and as I said, it's Prince Buster. And this was a B-side, actually, of the track. I think it was the B-side of Al Capone. And somebody's put a video to the original song. But it's just, it still has such power and resonance.
One step beyond!
Now, I'll put all the links to all the videos and the original video I did on Madness in the description. Now, Prince Buster obviously was one of the kings of ska, really. And this music that came over to Britain as part of the kind of, I guess, originally part of the kind of Windrush generation, really, into the UK. And it just captured the soul in many ways, strangely, of Great Britain. And there were famous kind of bands, groups of people, a culture that grew up around this kind of ska, rockabilly, and then into kind of reggae music as well. Particularly amongst kind of Skinheads and Moonstomp, and then Rude Boys in the kind of two-tone era of the later 70s when it came back again hugely. Now, in the Madness version, you heard the kind of sort of voiceover at the beginning, heavy monster sound. Now, that was taken from a Dave and Ansell Collins song called Monkey Spanner. Also, I think there's some other lines. Don't watch that, watch this. Now, that's taken from another Prince Buster song, Scorcher. So, the band, and in that original video, they acknowledge their success to the great Prince Buster. Now, strangely, this track, and I think strange for the times, because the track was actually released in 1979. This is a Spanish voiceover at the beginning.
Deja todo y fíjate en esto. El sonido más marchoso y vacilón que existe actualmente. Si vas por la calle, el cuerpo te pide en marcha. No te escapes. Escúchalo y vuélvete loco al ritmo del rocañero de Madness. Un paso adelante.
Now, it's set to the same video, obviously, and a lot of the original video, which I showed at the beginning, was filmed in the famous venue of the Hope and Anchor in Islington in London, one which anybody who was around at the time would go to gigs there. And I was fortunate enough to see Madness in their early days. And they just electrified the kind of audience. Now, as well as a Spanish version, there was an Italian version of the lyrics or the voiceover at the beginning as well.
Guarda qui, sente bene, beccati questo suono tremendo. Fai un passo avanti.
So that was Un Passo Adelante, which is the Spanish, and Un Passo Avanti, which is the Italian. Now, it's just, as I say, just a great song. And it just, as I say, captured British people, this kind of music, over a long period of time. And even today, there are revivals, festivals that happen where people come for this kind of ska, two-tone music. So what I want to do is I want to show Madness from a gig they did, the Madstock Festival, which used to happen every 2 years. And this was in 1998. And just watch the crowd. So the track was released in 79, the original by Prince Buster, a B-side from 1964. And this is 1998 in London.
Hey!
can see the crowd going crazy. It's just infectious. And it just shows, I guess unbeknownst to Prince Buster at the time, he was breaking out new music in Jamaica, in Kingston, as well as doing various things. He was a very keen boxer as well. That kind of music and his music would last for so long and be reinvented by modern bands from London and would have such a huge, huge impact on British culture. A real positive impact musically. Just fantastic to listen to watch, and to understand how these kind of young men, as they were in the late 70s from London, picked up on this and turned it into something wonderful. So, if you do like this kind of content, please consider leaving a like, subscribing, leave a comment or a recommendation. Madness and Prince Buster, one step beyond. Thank you so much for watching.